legendary podcaster, the one, the only, T-Jam D. Your personal favorite, and the show you've been waiting for. Probably Offensive.
Welcome to Probably Offensive. I am your host, Anthony Scott Dover. And before I start the show, I'd like to say that I've been on hiatus, an unplanned hiatus. There was nothing wrong with me or family or no deaths or anything like that. I just wasn't able to do the show. I've been trying to do the show every Sunday night. I took this unplanned hiatus right after I said I was going to do the show every Sunday night, and I had my broadcasting partner, who is not with me today. I don't know when T. Crow is going to be back with us, but I'm sure he'll be back. Him and I will be doing shows together again. I was there was a lot going on. I was trying to get things straightened out. I don't like doing what it is basically is I have my 7-year-old daughter who I have custody of. She stays with me, and I don't like doing the show with her in the room, and she can just come walking in. If you are a loyal listener to this show, you know my kid has walked in on one or two occasions, and I don't want to say anything inappropriate. It's not like I do a lot of cussing on the show anyway, but I don't want to say anything inappropriate in front of a 7-year-old. So I think I'm going to have to move all my podcasting equipment and the computer that I'm doing this on to the basement, so I can have a room down there and tell her when I'm doing the podcast, don't walk in the room. Sometimes it's kind of amusing, but she doesn't like to really say much. She's just wondering what the hell's going on, what I'm doing. So anyway, I need to be more consistent with this show, with the effort, if I'm going to do the show. And even if there's any listeners at all, if anybody's a loyal listener, I'm sorry I've been off for a few weeks. I've been in contact with my broadcasting partner, T. Crow, and been trying to, because he's busy too. He does his own podcast as the crow flies, but he been on Probably Offensive 3 or 4 times, and I like the interaction with somebody. I can do the show by myself, but I like the interaction with somebody and see what they think. So moving on to actual topics. There's a lot to talk about. There's a lot that's been going on since I haven't done the show. For one, I used to start this show and say that and give COVID updates and news about the pandemic. We're not quite out of the pandemic yet. The government is trying to get people vaccinated, as many people as they can. Even though I have said I don't think anything's wrong with the vaccine. I'm probably going to end up getting the vaccine myself. I don't think anything's wrong with the vaccine. I think the vaccine works. They've said from the beginning, if you get the vaccine, it doesn't mean you can't get COVID. It's just not supposed to affect you. You still can get it, but it's not supposed to kill you. It's not supposed to even make you sick enough to miss work. So I don't have 100% of the details on the effects of COVID if you've been vaccinated, but it's not supposed to affect you. I don't know if you can still pass it to anyone else. I want to say no, you can't pass COVID after you've been vaccinated, but I'm not quite sure about that. So I'm gonna have to find out, and I'll let you know what I found out next podcast. Actually, next time I do a podcast, I would have looked this up and found out, done a little bit of research on it. I got to do a little bit of research on the show, but mostly this show is my opinion. It's not of fact-driven show, although I try not to say anything that I know is false. Mostly, though, these things, I take things out of the news and I'll give you my opinion on them. Because not only am I an amusing guy, I'm pretty funny, but I'm a sane person. And that's something that we're lacking in our society right now. It seems like a lot of people are slowly losing their sanity and believing in things that are just not true. Speaking of which, Donald Trump, the evil dummy, as I refer to him as, the evil dummy gave a speech at CPAC over the weekend, and he is still clinging to this lie, which the reason it came to my mind because I seen it on the news that they had CPAC, and the evil dummy was one of the guest speakers, and he's still saying that that he won the election. That's a lie. You didn't win the election. You lost the election. He's saying it was rigged against him. That's a lie. The election wasn't rigged. There's a minimal amount of voter fraud. Okay, there is some voter fraud, but there's a minimal amount of voter fraud, and it's not all against Donald Trump. Some of the voter fraud was for Donald Trump, but it's not enough, not even close to enough to overturn an election. You're talking about 30 or 40 cases of voter fraud in each state. 30 or 40 cases in each state. And some of it was people who voted for Donald Trump trying to give him extra votes. Not all the voter fraud was for Joe Biden. So this election wasn't any different than any other election. The only difference was we were in the middle of a pandemic and more people voted than ever before. Like, more people voted for Donald Trump than voted for him in the first election, and also more people voted for Joe Biden than ever voted for Joe Biden or Barack Obama or Clinton or anybody who's won the election. So Joe Biden got more votes than anybody. So a buddy of mine that I work with said, and he said it a couple of times, but I didn't bite. I did not engage him in an argument. Usually I would when someone says something that is obviously false. Like, he said something that was ridiculously false, and that was this. He said Donald Trump didn't lie any more than any other politician. And I just looked at him. I let it slide, because basically, yes, he did. Donald Trump is a liar. The evil dummy is a liar. Okay? He lies. Okay? And he lied before he was a politician, and he's still lying. Saying he won the election is a lie. Okay? He is lying right now, to this day. Not even president anymore, and he's still lying. Okay? To say he didn't lie any more than any other politician, that's a lie. He lied a lot more than other politicians. That's why he's been recognized for lying, because he's a liar. The guy lied before he was president, but no one cared because he wasn't running for president, or he wasn't president. Once you become a politician, then the microscope is on you. Okay? You can't sit up there and expect to just lie ridiculously and nobody's going to look it up, what you're saying, to find out is what he's saying true. Okay, the microscope is on you when you're a politician. You're running for president. You became president. Okay, people want to know that you're telling them something that's close to true. And so the guy who I work with, who's a friend of mine, you know what I'm saying, but I guess he's he wants to justify supporting the evil dummy, which he can support the guy if he wants to, but to say he didn't lie any more than any other politician. That's just not true. The guy is still lying, saying he won the election. You did not win the election, evil dummy. Okay? You lost the election. You're just a sore loser. And the fact that there's so many millions of people who believe this lie. Maybe some of them don't believe it. They just say it because they hate the fact that he lost. But a lot of people actually believe it. I mean, you get reporters who go to these rallies and functions, whatever Republicans are having, and they invite the evil dummy to speak. He comes and speaks, and then reporters interview his supporters outside these events, and they believe that the election was rigged or he won, which is not true. These things are not true. And like I've said before, we're having a rash. I think it's growing that people are just believing things that are not true, and the reason that is these conspiracy theories I'm talking about. The reason people are believing these nonsensical things are because they're slowly losing their sanity. Like I told another guy who I went to school with. He follows these. He mentions these conspiracy theories on Facebook. You know, he's a friend of mine on Facebook, and me and him was cool when we were in school, even when we were out of school. You know, sometimes I'd go out to the bar when I was like in my 20s. I don't go out to bars hardly ever now. I haven't been out to a bar in a couple of years, and it might be partially because of the pandemic. It might just be partially because I've outgrown that thing. You know, I'm 50 years old. Actually, I'm 52, but my daughter will remind me whenever I say I'm 50. Because to me, once you hit 50, you're 50. You know, and if you're 51, I still say I'm 50 years old. Because the point is, I'm 50 or more. So, but actually I'm 52 now. But in any case, I told a friend of mine on Facebook, and he's saying all these things that are nonsensical and just not true about he's saying it he's getting it from QAnon. And I told him the reason he believes these things is you're just not 100% sane. And he started talking about the reason I say he's not 100% sane is because of this liberal thinking, and once you this liberal talking. I said this has nothing to do with being liberal. It's not political. You're not 100% sane. That's why you believe in things that are nonsensical. It has nothing to do with politics. It's you. See, sanity, or the lack thereof, it's not just... Sometimes I used to believe that people who believe in conspiracy theories were just stupid. These people are just stupid. But then I started seeing people who are intelligent and educated, gone to major universities, believing in these things. And then I realized it's not intellect that governs whether you believe in something completely ridiculous. It's sanity. And there's levels of sanity. Now, you can check with a doctor, a psychiatrist, a psychologist. If you're not batshit crazy, meaning you don't need to be committed, okay, you don't need to be on medication, or you're not planning to shoot up a school or a grocery store or a concert next week, you're not batshit crazy, but you're still functioning in society, going to work every day and handling your business, but you are just not 100% sane. Okay? So there are levels of sanity, and there's also people who may not be 100% sane. They might be 90 or 80 or 95% sane, but that leaves some room